Welcome everybody to Adams Polish's Wednesday live video. Still getting a little bit set up, but not really. But sorry I missed last week. I was actually.
We're in live.
Yeah, we're live right now.
Sick.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just talking to everybody. Chris is showing them the cars.
This thing's so beautiful.
I know this Z06 is, and it's new, so.
You already do a burnout in it?
Yeah, just a couple. You can see like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sorry I missed last week. I was actually traveling, a little personal, I guess you could call it vacation, just myself. I went out to Chicago to visit a friend who lives there. His name's Carlos. My other friend Andrew, Red Dog, was there as well from Sacramento, and it was pretty sweet. Went to a Cubs game at Wrigley Field for the first time. You know, that stadium was built in 1914, so it's just like a really cool baseball experience. I'm a baseball guy, so really, really cool. But we're back this week, and actually went on and checked live from 2 weeks ago, and there was a request when we did the Q&A inside the showroom on, it said, can you show us, you know, the what towels go with which products? Because obviously we were talking about it a lot 2 weeks ago. Our product line can be kind of confusing. You know, there's just a lot of stuff, and trying to decipher it, you know, for the average person at home, not all that easy. So I thought it was like kind of a cool topic actually. So we're going to talk about today. I have different products and towels set up on like different cars. I do want to show you guys something really quick actually. So when you get your detail spray, you know, it looks bubblegum pink, you know, it looks nice, perfect. But if you live in an area where it gets really cold, it can freeze and turn into something like this. Okay, so it looks a little bit different as far as the aesthetic. It almost like goes to clearish pink, like a pink lemonade, I guess you could call it.
Yeah,
even
like
with
from opaque to translucent.
Yeah, opaque to translucent. And this happens often. And I think a lot of people go like, "Oh no, it's ruined." Maybe is the answer, okay? And what I recommend is if this happens to your detail spray, my biggest suggestion to you, and this is something I learned, is take the detail spray that has been frozen and grab a towel and essentially try to use it. Just spray it on here, wipe it down, and if it gives you any, you know, trouble or anything like that, then you know that it's not good. So I would even say, like on a dark pane of glass, like on the Z06, it's gonna really show the streaks probably the most. So what I would do is spray the detail spray on here, like so, take my towel and wipe it. And if it works as advertised, or as you're, you know, accustomed to using the detail spray, it's fine. It's just gonna look different. So what I would say is, within all of our products in Adams Polish's line, probably the thing that's the most unstable of the whole formula is the dye and the scent that we put inside of it. So if it freezes, essentially what happened to this detail spray is it froze, it broke down the dye that's in the formula, and it shifted it, so made it translucent. But the base formula of detail spray is still the same. It's still, you know, the wax, the silicone, and the lubricants and all the stuff, shine enhancement. So but what can happen is it can alter in a way that the silicone separates from the base of the formula. And if that happens, then when you spray it on, it will be more streaky because the silicone just kind of like hanging out at the bottom. And so I just tell people, like, and to be honest with you, this detail spray came from a big batch at Adams Polishes that was accidentally left outside right here, and it just so happened to freeze. It was in all the crates and everything. It just so happened to freeze that night, and it shifted every single bottle to this. And so we couldn't get rid of it. I think we sold it in the tent sale, but it wasn't exposed to the cold weather for like a really long period of time. So the formula in which how it performs is still good. It's just it looks different. So if that happens to you, test it, and if it works, fine. But we just keep using it till you're done with it, and then get a new bottle. So.
Joseph Fleischer says, I graduate high school tomorrow.
Oh really? No way.
Yeah.
Joseph Fleischer.
So congrats to Joseph.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's exciting. He's gonna attend the College of Adams Polish's detailing. No, I'm just
Exactly.
kidding. I'm just kidding. He could go to the. We have the Shine Academy, you know, so you could always consider that to be a pro detailer. I don't consider myself a pro at all, so.
David Boyce says, hey, Joe's new vet.
Yeah, God, I wish, David, man. Chris and I were just talking about it. Like, so all of these really cool cars are here for a reason, and it's called the Crown Rally, which is like a driving rally for charity. They're starting in Denver, and then they're making their way over to Las Vegas, going through Park City, Utah, Salt Lake City, some really cool places. And you know, we one of the persons is like one of our she's like an Instagram person of ours, influencer, I guess you could call it. But she really loves Adams Polishes, and she cleans her car all the time. She actually has, I think it's a Mark IV Supra, and then she has this R8. I'll show it to you at the end. This R8 that's in the showroom right now, and she's doing the rally. So she suggested to Crown Rally, like, hey, we should, since we're starting in Denver, we should drop all the cars off at Adams Polishes. They'll get them all cleaned up so they're ready to go when I think it starts on Friday for them, and they're shutting down like one of the streets at Coors Field to almost have like a car show, and then they're gonna leave. And so we have all the cars showing up here to Adams Polishes. I think there's 4 here, and I think there's 4 out front. There's 8 total, but I think there's 20 cars that are gonna end up here. And so like this Z06 over here is hammered. Like you should, the wheels are just, the wheels look brown because they have so much brake dust on them. This is a car that's been driven really hard, you know, which is awesome. Like I don't like clean cars. I like dirty cars like this. So, you know, we'll have to do bug remover on it. We'll have to really deep clean the wheels, you know, do all the stuff to it. And so, you know, what we're going to do is get all of them clean first. And then I think we're going to put either the graphene glass coating or the glass sealant on all the windshields and side glass, so it's just better visibility if they get caught in the rain. And so we just have like some of the sickest selection of cars that are cars that are driven, you know, like this R8 twin turbo V10. I mean, this car is insane. 911 Turbo S with just a crazy paint package with the gold wheels on it. I mean, that gold looks like the watch I've always wanted, gold Rolex, you know what I mean? I'm sure he has a matching Rolex, you know. And then we have this newer Z06 with this like teal color with the champagne color wheels. And that Corvette Z06, this one that Chris is showing you right now, is just, the whole setup is really cool. And it has aftermarket exhaust, so it just sounds insane. So really, really cool cars. You know, I think for us, it's one thing to have them, you get to see them, but when you actually get to hear them start up, man, cold starts just, we should start cold start Saturday if we had cool cars around here all the time, you know. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So I was like, you know what? We have all these cool cars out here. Let's set up all the products and towels, and then we can talk about it during the live. So today, a little special treat. You get a little bit of information from Adams Polishes and a great background, you know.
By the way, Joseph Fleischer says, I'm trying to start my own detailing business called Legacy Deluxe Detailing.
Oh,
So I
okay.
don't have a website yet.
Well,
But that's his post.
here's Joseph.
plan.
Joseph, tell us where you're located. Maybe you can get some customers out of this live, you know. That's really cool. Well, Joseph, joe@adamspolishes.com is my email. If you have any questions about anything, I can try to help you the best I can. But I don't have a ton of experience with professional detailing, but I do have some suggestions to try to make it easier. But anyways, okay.
Bad Bro says Corvette.
It's not for sale. Yeah, exactly.
Not ours to sell.
Yeah. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to start on this R8. I have all of our drying towels set out. And, you know, I would say when it comes to drying towels, there's really only one product you can use as a drying aid. That's very much my personal opinion. I think that there's some chatter on our community page, as well as like in the detailing world, that like you could use CS3 or waterless wash as a drying aid. That's fine. I feel like with CS3, especially in Colorado with the sun being a little more intense, I get a lot of streaks when I use CS3. So for me, every time I use detail spray as a drying aid, it works every time. And also, just before I keep moving on, if you guys have questions, like chime in the comments. That's part of this live, is having a you know, access to us in a little bit more engaging type of live. I love when we get to talk to you guys and answer questions or anything like that. So make sure that any questions you have, I always say this, I mean, you hear this a lot, there's no bad question, because you might think it's a bad question, but when you ask it, there's like 10 other people that didn't even know that they had that question. They're like, oh yeah, I want to know that too. So make sure you don't hold back. But anyways.
And Joseph Fleischer's in Pennsylvania.
Ephrata,
something like that.
Ephrata, Pennsylvania. So if you guys are in that area, let Joseph detail your car so he can get experience and money. All right. Anyways, so with drying towels, the product I would pair with is detail spray. Detail spray is just a proven drying aid that works perfect every time. The thing I like about detail spray as a drying aid is it also makes the car shiny in the kind of like all the same sense. And there's other ways to add protection, easy. So I try not to use CS3 as like doubling down with a drying aid and add protection. I just don't want to fight with the streakiness. So detail spray is the one. So with the drying towels, we have 4 different options, okay? And the first one I'll talk about is the drying towel we've had in our line since I've worked here, since 2012, and this is called the Great White Drying Towel. Now, the thing about this towel that I think is really cool is it's waffle weave. So it very much mimics the same structure as our waterless washing towel. So you can see like they both have the waffle weave to them. So I tend to say, like, if you have an off-roading vehicle or your car gets like really, really dirty, whether it's going off-roading or camping or traveling, the Great White Drying Towel is a good option because the waffle weave actually can pick up more dirt and grime as you're cleaning. It acts as like a waterless washing towel while you're drying the car. The only downside to this towel is it's not as absorbent as some of the other ones. So, you know, I would say, like, if you do have a Great White Drying Towel, probably getting more water off the car first by using like an air cannon, no matter what air cannon it is. So by the time you go to dry it, there's less water on the car, so your towel can go a longer way, if that makes any sense. I will say too, after you wash this towel, sometimes initially when you put it on the car, it's not absorbent right away. So if you get it a little bit damp, it sort of opens the fibers of the towel and then allows it to dry better. So Great White Drying Towel, really good towel, something that we've been selling for a long time. Then the second one, it's actually kind of dirty because I was using it yesterday, but is the Ultra Plush Drying Towel. So you can see like this towel is even a little bit bigger than the Ultra Plush, just by a little bit of a footprint. This is my personal favorite drying towel, and reason being is that it's two-sided. So it has these fibers on one side, and then it has this kind of finishing side. So I actually like to fold it onto itself, onto the fibers, so the water goes through the finishing side, goes like through the finishing side this way, and then all these fibers hold all of the water. So in the fact that the water absorbs all the way through into these fibers allows you to like finish either on the glass or the paint with no streaks. So the Ultra Plus Drying Towel I love a lot. Okay, so this is something that I have probably 4 of these in my house because it's the one I use the most.
How many would you say normally can dry a whole car?
The Ultra Plush can do a whole car easy. You know, I wouldn't say, maybe this third one I'm going to talk about, you might need 2. But as far as like the Great White, the Ultra Plush, and the Jumbo Plush, probably you only need 1 towel. That's even for like an SUV size car or like a crossover. You know, like even like that, Mercedes right there, decent sized car, that Ram 1500. The Great White, Ultra Plush, and Jumbo Plush can pretty much dry those cars. And it's like I said, especially if you have a forced air unit where you're getting water out of the mirrors and the grill and the badges and getting like a decent amount of water off the car. And also, I mean, the secret to allowing your drying towels to go a lot longer is a ceramic coated vehicle. There's just less water on the car when you go to dry it. And when there's less water on the car, you get to utilize the detail spray more as a drying aid, which creates more lubricity and reduces scratching, right? So yeah. Now go ahead if you have a
Do you
question.
want to off topic?
Let me finish going through these first. Just put it in your memory bank, Chris.
Yep.
So the third towel is called the Jumbo Plush drying towel. And what this does is it marries the two fibers from the Jumbo, or I can't remember what this one's called. I have to look it up.
That's from, it's borderless and ultra plush.
Yeah, it's like a borderless gray towel and the Jumbo Plush towel mixed together. I can't remember the name of it. I have the packaging over here. I called it the Jumbo Plush, but I don't think that's what it's called. It might be called the hybrid drying towel, to be honest. Yeah, Adams Polish is hybrid drying towel. The reason why it's hybrid is because it has plush towel fibers like the borderless gray plush towel with the Jumbo Plush fibers as well. So this one does a pretty good job too. You know, I would say like if you have two of these, it's really good. But having the plush fibers on there, the borderless gray plush fibers, really like finishes the car really, really nice, you know. So really good towel, but you can see the footprint's a lot smaller. So
Chester wants to know if these would dry a Tacoma.
all of these would for sure dry a Tacoma. Yeah, not even a question. And I know Chester's, you know, he loves detailing, so I'm sure he has all of his cars protected with something, whether it's H2O garden gloss or graphene spray coating or graphene coating. So
Comments too often to not have his cars coated.
yeah, Chester loves doing this stuff, which I really respect and appreciate. So and then lastly, the Jumbo Plush towel. So this is like takes what's so great about the absorbing element of the Ultra Plush, but you just put that on both sides. So it has like the same fibers on both sides. So, you know, I would say like if your car's not ceramic coated, you don't have a forced air unit, this is a really good towel for a larger vehicle, like call like an F250, F350, even like having two of those for like a big RV, that's going to work really good too. This just absorbs more water. But my biggest gripe with this towel is it doesn't always finish perfect because of the way the fibers are structured. That's why to me the Ultra Plush is just, I love it so much better because you get the finishing element with this side of the towel. And the other thing I will say, this is not something people think about. These two towels right here, drying towels, are white in color, okay? These are gray. These ones, as you can tell, and that's why I put a dirty one out here, is you can see where you pick up dirt and grime, okay? So because I fold these onto each other, if I'm going and I'm drying the bottom portion of a car and a bunch of dirt goes into the towel, I will absolutely see it in the Ultra Plush towel or the Great White drying towel, and then I know I need to flip my towel over so I don't rub that dirt into other things. With the gray, you can still kind of see it, but it's not as obvious. So with these, granted they're gray towels, but it's harder to see when you're picking up and moving around dirt than if you use a white colored drying towel like the Ultra Plush or the Great White drying towel.
Anton says, where is the tan towel? I love that when I polish.
Oh, the tan, I'll show you that here in a second, Anton. The other thing I'm going to show you.
The reason we're covering these so far is they're specifically drying towels.
Yeah, these are drying towels. The other drying towel that you guys don't ever think about is the borderless gray towel. And the reason why is because the borderless gray towels are to be paired with the H2O garden gloss. So for a lot of you, you know this already, but H2O garden gloss is a product that both protects your car and dries it at the same time. And you use, you know, you have two borderless gray towels. One you get wet and wring it out. The other one you keep dry. Then you go through the H2O garden gloss process. And so these wouldn't be considered a drying towel, but I consider them a drying towel. These are like multi-use type of like the borderless gray towel is like multi-use kind of towel, but I throw it into the drying towel portion, especially when you're using it with H2O garden gloss. So not something I think people think about all that often, but I figured I'd throw it in there.
Ken Wilson has a non-towel question.
Okay.
He wants to know, what is the best way to cover light surface scratches until you get a chance to correct and polish them? So just kind of superficially make them less obvious.
Oh yeah, that's a
until
good
you
question.
polish.
You know, Mr. Ken Wilson's a good question, and I would say there isn't much of like a solution for masking, minor swirl marks for an extended period of time. It's very much like a temporary fix. And when I say temporary, I'm talking like weeks, not like months. And really, like the secret for that would be either using like Brilliant Glaze or buttery wax. They're really easy to use, but those two things really are intended to like fill in scratches. Then when you wipe it away, they're really hard to see. But as soon as those goes away, boom, the swirl marks are back. So if you want to like, depending on what's going on, like if you're just driving to work, who cares? Coworkers probably don't care if your car's shiny. But if you're like going out on the town and you want it to just beam in the lights in Orange County, because that's where Ken Wilson lives, you could do a layer of Brilliant Glaze on your car. And if you have the polisher, you can even get the red pad that we sell. You could put the Brilliant Glaze on that, run it on speed 1, and just apply it to all of your paint super fast, and then wipe it off with one of the towels.
What about graphene liquid wax?
You could use graphene liquid wax, but it's not very much available. Like, I don't even know if we sell it anymore, and I don't think AutoZone sells it anymore. So if you have it, great, but graphene liquid wax is a pretty good option, but it is a little bit harder to use because it does have the graphene element to it. These are just really easy to use. So, yeah.
David Boyce wants to know if the borderless gray towels could be paired with Slick and Slide.
Can the borderless gray towels be paired with Slick and Slide? You know what, Mr. David Boyce? It's a good question, and that's a great segue. Okay, I'm gonna grab one of these over here. Yeah, so David Boyce gave us an absolute layup for a segue. And this car over here, the Z06, I laid out more of the like quick detailers, I guess you could call it, and a couple other products. But before I get to that point, let me just say this, Mr. David Boyce. Yes, you can use the borderless gray with the Slick and Slide for sure. And the borderless gray sits in the category of plush towels, okay? And when I say plush towels, they're like, it's like a plush microfiber. So it's like almost like loose fibers. It's super soft, like the softest towels you can put on your car. And the borderless gray is essentially the same thickness as the single soft, but the single soft is white with a silk black edge. And so borderless gray just doesn't have a silk edge to it. And, originally the borderless gray, like I talked about before, was brought to work in conjunction with the H2O garden gloss, but it's also become a really great like plush utility towel, I guess you could call it. So some people use this for waterless washing, some people use it for removing ceramic coating, some people use it for removing polish and compound. So like when you hear the word plush towel, it is very much like sits in this category of what these towels look like and what they feel like. Now I would say, I'll just say this, like if you are going to use the borderless gray towel or even the single soft towel, because they're just a single ply thickness, if you're using these for quick detailing, like with Slick and Slide or CS3 detail spray, I recommend having 2 of them, okay? Because they're single ply, they're going to absorb a lot of the product and they're going to get overloaded with product. So the towel's not going to go as far. So like you could almost, I would almost say like,
You'll start getting streaks.
Yeah. When your towel gets overloaded, it essentially what that means is that like it doesn't absorb into the towel so much to the point that like it stays on the surface. Then when you wipe it, it it just moves product around. It doesn't like pull it. You don't buff it down and then like pull it into the towel. So, I would say like if I was gonna go wipe down this whole car with detail spray and I was using borderless gray towel, like I would use one for this half of the car, which is the driver's side of the car, and then I would use the other towel for the passenger side of the car. And realistically, like I'm not gonna dedicate it to each one for one half of the car. Like I'm gonna try to get as far with this towel as I possibly can. And then once I start seeing the streaks and the product isn't coming off the car easy, then I'll switch to the other one. But having two towels with a single ply plush towel with borderless gray or a single soft towel, it's kind of a must. Whereas if you're using slick and slide, detail spray, graphene detail spray, even graphene boost, having a towel like the double soft towel, which is this guy right here, with the silver silk edge, this is essentially two single soft or borderless gray put together into one towel. And because it's a thicker towel, it absorbs more of the product, so the towel goes a longer way when you're using it. So you could almost get away with doing a full detail spray wipe down with the double soft. And like, just so you can see, like when I set that double soft down next to it's not crazy difference, but like there's definitely more.
You can definitely tell.
Yeah, there's definitely more thickness to the double soft than there is to the single soft. So, I will say this, like generally speaking, if I'm doing a quick detailer, detail spray, graphene detail spray, especially graphene boost, or I'm removing wax, buttery wax, or like a glaze, like brilliant glaze, I'm using the double soft towel every time. When it comes to, removing like compound and polish, I always have the single soft with me every time. So
Chester says, what's the best, well, we also have an off-topic question, but Chester says, what's the best towel to leave in your truck to use detail spray to clean off bird droppings and bugs?
best towel to leave in your truck to do spot treatment for like bird droppings or bugs, I'd probably say the borderless gray. Because you're not wiping the whole car down, you could get away with just having one towel. And by the way, Chester, I keep a borderless gray in my car, and reason being is a little bit of what you just described with like, surprise attacks from birds, but I keep it in my car to do this. Sometimes my glasses get dirty. And these are the best towels to clean glasses, like not even a question. So I keep it in my car mainly for that.
I keep one on my desk to clean my monitor.
Yeah. Keep one on Chris's desk to clean his monitor. But also the other thing too is I consistently do my brilliant glaze treatment on the inside of my windshield. And after you do that treatment, even when you get the off gassing, you don't have to reapply the brilliant glaze every time. So because it puts that layer of wax on, it's almost like a little artificial, not artificial, but like it's just a layer of wax and then the glass. And so sometimes I'll get that off gassing. I can see it, like especially if I'm driving in the sun. And once I'm parked, I'll fold this towel, in my special windshield cleaning where I make like the pocket with the thing at the end. And I'll just take this and just wipe it down really quick. Now, the moment I feel like when I rub the interior of the glass and this grabs, like it's not gliding on the surface, then I know I need to reapply the brilliant glaze, because that means like that layer of wax from brilliant glaze isn't there anymore, which, I mean, it's a long time. It's like 3 months roughly, so.
You should try brilliant glazing your glasses and see if they don't get dirty as quickly.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Chris.
Or graphene glass coating them.
We'll do that on the next live. How to fix random things in ceramic coat golf clubs.
Yeah.
But
I keep saying we should do a YouTube video of non-car uses of our products.
Yeah, I could do that.
Home care and
this. I use this to dust my house. It's so good.
Username that I can't understand or pronounce says, jumped in here for a quick question. What product would you use on the interior door panel of a 2025 Toyota car that's notorious for scuffing via rubber shoe soles? I've tried most things to remove it. So rubber scuffing on interior door panels.
Rubber scuffing on interior door panels. All these cars are locked, so I couldn't show you. But the towel I would use for that is the edgeless utility towel, which is this towel right here. It's like really thin. But the reason being is, so these towels right here are pretty much made from the same thing. Okay, it doesn't look like it, but
Same fiber.
yeah. The only thing that's different, is this edgeless utility towel is woven, where this is not woven. This is just microfiber. You know, it's like one fiber
Loose
that's
piles.
split into them. Yeah, it's loose piles. And so this does a really good job at scrubbing because it's not going to lint or deteriorate the towel. So like, even I was actually going to show, I don't know if there's even a car here that would have it. It would be more like one of the other cars in the parking lot, but like I use this when I'm like scrubbing oxidation off of rubber and plastic, you know. So if you get like scuffs on your door panel,
If you want to show it on mine, you could.
no, that's all right. But if you want to scrub something, this is the scrubbing towel. Okay.
Yep.
And if you don't have one of these, you could get away with a waterless wash towel because this is a woven towel as well, and even the great white drying towel, you could use that to scrub too because it's not a loose pile type of towel. So edgeless utility towel, I would say, I'll get to this at the end. Essentially what I'm going to tell you is these are like the 3 towels you absolutely need. Okay. If there's, you're not going to buy all of these towels. I mean, maybe you will. I don't know. Drying towel, but like, I'm going to say like, these are the towels that you should get, you know. I do want to mention really quick, like the waterless washing towels. So oftentimes our towels are color coded to the product. So like these waterless washing towels, which is a waffle weave, we talked about it already, is purple because the product is purple. Okay, so the waterless washing towels, I will say this, these are actually, I'll say 2 things about this towel. Number 1, there's actually a good glass towel, okay, because it's woven, not loose fibers or loose pile. The other thing, recently, and it's ridiculously good, is a dish drying towel. Okay, I have this sitting in my house because when I dry off my certain dishes, this is the one I use, and it works so good. But anyways, the one thing I do want to mention about this towel is it's not like, if I lay this out here, you can see it's not like a square like the borderless gray towel. Okay, you have a little bit of extra material of the towel, and the reason being you want this to be a little bit bigger is when you use these towels, you take it and you fold it long side to long side like this, and then do the same thing again this way. Okay, and then do it one more time, right? And it creates these like nice panels of the towel on here. And when you go to use waterless wash, let's find a car that's dirty, like this Z06.
You just commented and said they have the same color Z06 that we were just on.
Oh, that's cool. So like you can see dirt right here, right? So when you use the waterless wash, the intention of this towel is not to finish perfect. So I would spray waterless wash liberally on here, and then I take the towel and I just wipe and kind of roll my hand, and what it does is the waffle weave grabs on to more of the dirt. You can kind of see it in here, and it cleans it thoroughly. But what's going to happen is as you go through this whole process, like let's do it on the glass right here, like wipe, roll like this towel is going to get saturated with product, and it's going to get streaky all over the car. Okay, it's going to get very streaky on the car. You don't need to take this towel that's going to be overloaded with product and dirt and grime and try to finish the car off. What you do is then you switch to like detail spray or slick and slide and use probably the double soft towel, and then you go even the rest of the car out. And the intention of waterless wash is not to make something perfect, it's to get the dirt off of the car, right?
Safely.
safely, yeah, without scratching. And so, you know, I think oftentimes some people think like the 2 waterless washing towels are like, they're there to like make the whole car perfect also by waterless washing. It's not. I would say like, especially on a really dirty, like that car could be waterless washed. The wheels cannot. The wheels are so dirty that it can't. But like I could go through, just give you a quick little thing on waterless washing. So like the bug guts on the front, like let's say that this is a car that you took, you're driving it across the United States, right? This I can take and I can spray down like the bug guts. I would do it to the whole front clip, okay? So just like what I did. Spray it down, let it sit, and then I would start waterless washing the rest of the car, okay? And I don't know if you can see on camera, but this is like,
Yep.
it has like a perfect layer of dust on it that, yes, you could wash it, but in the instance that you don't have access to a hose, you could absolutely use waterless wash. So like, just so you guys remember, I already sprayed down some of the bug guts on the front. I'm letting that product work and sit, and then I would come through and take my waterless wash with the towel and just spray and wipe. And I don't care if it's streaky. And really what I'm trying to do is use a fresh to see how dirty the car is. So after I get this whole panel dirty, I just flip to another panel. I flip to a fresh side like this, and I just spray and wipe. And this has some bug guts here, so I would spray that and leave it.
Anton has a question about waterless wash. When I presented to bid for a corporate account, I used that towel with waterless wash, and everyone in the room asked if the product stains the paint due to the color of the towel.
Does the product stain the paint due to the color of the towel? No, it doesn't. It won't stain the color of the paint.
None of our dyes would do that.
No, none of our dyes would do that.
It
So-
dyes the chemical, not your paint.
Yeah. So see, I this is the panel I started with first. This is the panel I just did. So then I just take the towel and then I just fold it onto its side like this. Okay. And then I just keep going as I'm trying to like wipe and roll my hand, so I'm like using a fresh side of the towel the whole time. Like this. Okay.
Yes.
So what I want you guys to see is like this is nice and clean now. It's not perfect by any means. It's like I need to go over it with detail spray, but I want you to see on the towel is like the perfect like panels that I was using. It's just like these sections of the towel that I'm using, but I still have a fresh panel here, fresh panel here, fresh panel here, here, and here, and I still have this whole other side that hasn't even been touched with dirt and grime. So like managing where you take, think of it like this, think of the concept like this. There's dirt on this car. The dirt is essentially, you know, masking what the car should actually look like because it's sitting on top of the car. We're trying to take that and take it off of the car. So there's a couple ways to do that. One way would be to use a pressure washer and blast this off and then use soap to do that. Now soap is much more highly lubricated than a waterless wash, right? You have suds that encapsulate the dirt, pulls it away from the car, all this stuff. That's why washing your car is more safe than like doing a waterless washing process, right? And you also have like a wash pad that you wash it, you flip it over, you rub it against the grit guard, like you're taking dirt from the car, you're putting it into the 2-bucket wash, you're rubbing it against the grit guard, all the dirt's falling to the bottom, right? With the waterless washing towel, essentially what we're doing is we are taking the dirt from that's on this car and we're just setting it into this towel. But we don't want to keep using this to rub it on the car. So you put the dirt into the towel. That's why if you get the waterless washing kit, you get 2 towels with it, because once you're saturated with this whole thing, you have to switch the other towel to go finish the car. Then you even it out to add shine with detail spray, or, you know, I even like, if the car is really dirty like this, I would even potentially do my final wipe down with CS3, because the CS3 has the lubricating agents that waterless wash has. It has the shining agents that the detail spray has, but it's going to add a little bit of silica protection while you're just doing a quick wipe down with it. So there's my kind of waterless washing seminar. Oh, and by the way, like I was showing you, I sprayed this down. I would have made it all the way around the whole car, and then you just come back, spray it again like this, and then using the, you know, the fresh panel of the towel.
And Chester also said, is it okay to let that dry? I'm assuming he means the waterless wash on the surface of the car.
Is okay to let the waterless wash dry on the car 100%. And if I did do this whole car, it would have dried already. But when you spray it, when you respray it again, it reactivates it.
And wipes away no streaks.
Yeah, it's kind of like
spots.
the car shampoo. Like the car shampoo can dry completely on the car. When you hit it with the water, it like reactivates the soap and the suds, and then it falls off the car. So then I would take my towel. I probably haven't left this on here for long enough, but then you would just come back and wipe this, and it would make the bug guts come off a lot easier. But it needs to sit there and work for a longer period of time. But the other thing that if they're really caked on there, like I would say when I would assess this car from the beginning, okay, I would not do a waterless wash on this car. The number one reason is not only is it the bug guts, but the number one reason is I would be washing the wheels anyways. So like I would already have the pressure washer set up. I would have cleaned the wheels and done all this stuff. It's just not as much. It wouldn't be that much effort to just then like wash the car after I clean the wheels, you know, so bad. And there's so many bug guts. So I can use the power of bug gut remover on the front, the mirrors, the windshield, the whole front clip, and use the power of bug remover to break those bug guts down even more than what the waterless wash could do. So, but I just wanted to show you like that level of dirty of a car for like the rest of it, aside from the wheels and the bug guts, 100% you could do a waterless wash on that car. Not even a question.
I love to watch those videos.
I know, dude, it's gonna be crazy. Like
Right
I'm hoping they're not. I'm hoping they are like has metallic brake dust, because the wheel cleaner is gonna turn like insanely purple, which will be just such a fun thing to watch. Oh, the other thing too, like if the car's not as dirty as that, maybe it's just more dusty, you could get away with just doing a waterless washing process with CS3, and you would work panel by panel. So like with CS3, I would do like this whole door to like get the dust off, and then I would just have a second towel, like a borderless gray towel or maybe a double soft towel. And then after I've, you know, I would use towels like this. I would use this towel for, do you want me to just show it?
Yeah.
So I would take my CS3, okay, and I would make sure I fold my, gotta make sure you fold your towels. Like I see a lot of people just go like this, and you know, you see like a perfect imprint of your hand. When you fold the towels, it suspends your hands a little bit, but the reason why you want to fold your towels is it gives you multiple panels. So like if I was going to wipe this car down,
and just to be clear with people, this is a new towel.
This is a brand new towel, yeah. So I would spray CS3 on here, do my waterless washing wipe like this
To get the dust and
to
dirt
get the
off.
dust and dirt off. And I'm not trying to like wipe it into the car. And then as soon as I did that, I would set that towel aside, then I would spray it again, and then I would take the double soft towel, and then I would just even it off and buff it. And I would work in smaller sections because, and actually I'll just show you here in a second because it kind of did it already. But if I spray CS3 on here, just like a mist like this, it's really hot out today, and in direct sunlight, you can actually see the CS3 dry on the surface. It happens like that, right?
And that's why you weren't recommending it as a drying aid.
That's why I
earlier.
don't use it as a drying aid. Exactly. So like if it dries too fast, I take this towel and I wipe, it looks like that, right?
Gross.
But if that happens, you just take your CS3, spray it on here again, then wipe it off. And again, like it reactivates it, so then you can wipe it off. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Feel that side of the towel.
It's really warm.
It's really hot because you have, especially in Colorado, you have like the intense you're
sun.
closer to the sun than any other state, pretty much, just at a base altitude. So the sun rays are more intense. So when it hits like dark, like black glass, it's just black cars. Sometimes can't even touch them with my hand. It's so hot. You really, and that's even like a technique that I use when I'm washing a car is I'll spend extra time rinsing the car to cool it down. So then when I wash, it's easier, you know? But anyways.
I kind of regret getting black leather on my car
Yeah.
in Colorado because in the summer it's toasty.
Well, the crazy thing is like the tent that a lot of people buy out here, it's like UV blocking tent. Pretty intense type of material, but I will show you this really quick too. Oh, we have these. These are called like our shop towels. They're just like a crappier version of our edgeless utility towel, but it makes them more cheap. But these are great for interior stuff. So like if you're scrubbing carpet stuff in the interior, these are really good. But because they're so thin, you need to use a ton of them because it overloads the towel and it streaks everywhere. So I do like having these like around my house. I mean, you know, I would say these are a little bit more of like, I don't know. These are kind of like your disposable towels, kind of. Like, we also sell that roll of towels. It's essentially the same thing as this. You know, so those are really cool. It's just nice to have like a towel that you can, like I would use this to scrub like rubber and plastic because it's not going to overload the towel with product, but I can really like.
You wouldn't use those.
I would never use these on paint. No, they're just not. They're not really intended for that. Missed. And so I do want to show you this really quick. Glass cleaning towels. This is a question we get a lot. Which is the best glass cleaning towel? We have a few of them. Okay, so obviously I have like my two glass cleaners here. Got the aerosol glass cleaner, and then you got our standard Adams glass cleaner. And I put this here for a reason, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. We have the green glass towel. Remember I told you a lot of our products are color coded with the towel and which product it goes to. Shocker. The glass cleaning towel is green like the glass cleaner. Okay, it's supposed to go together. Okay, this is like a designed glass cleaning towel. It has a finishing side and a little bit more of like a scrubbing side, which moves over to this one called the tough glass towel. And the tough glass towel is something that you can use to scrub things. So like if I was gonna scrub bug guts off of a windshield, I'd use the tough glass towel. You can get away with it with the green one, but this one just, I don't know, it has like this little thing inside, like foam piece inside, so it does a really good job. It also like absorbs product pretty good. So I do actually like this towel quite a bit. We also have a silk glass towel, which is like, it's the same material of like the cloth you get inside like a glasses case. That one works okay. It's just, you really need to use less product when you do that. Like one spritz and then use the silk glass towel. Some people really love that towel, so I'm not gonna knock it, but you do have to use a lot less product. But my favorite glass cleaning towel for some reason is the edgeless utility. I don't know why. For me, it like works every single time. So like if I'm using the aerosol glass cleaner.
Yeah, triple cleans this one.
Yeah, gotta clean off the CS3. But I don't know why, but like I think it's because the edgeless utility towel has more fiber to it. So it absorbs more of the product, especially when you fold it. This works really, really good to clean glass. And I think part of it for me is like, I don't want to have a bunch of different glass cleaning towels that I feel like I need to use. Like, I want something that is like to me, glass cleaning, I'm cleaning the exterior glass when I dry the car with my edgeless utility towel, right? I'm cleaning the outside glass when I'm doing like a double soft towel with detail spray, right? I'm using this edgeless utility towel on the inside of the inside, not the windshield, but like pretty much everywhere else. And I'm using like total interior cleaner to just knock down the glass with one towel. And then I could just move over and clean the leather, and then I could clean the steering wheel. And it's like it's just not as confusing. It's like this is the only one I use to clean the glass, you know. So really, really good towel. I would recommend avoiding a plush towel when it comes to cleaning glass. Reason being is the loose pile of the fibers will grab on to the glass and it will lint. Okay, so those glass cleaning towels won't lint when you use them. Okay, so now for interior towels, again, Edgeless utility towel. I just talked about it. It's just a scrubbing towel, super high quality, but because the Edgeless utility towel is a little bit more thick, it actually finishes really nice on like the piano black accents on the inside of the car. But we also have this premium interior towel, which I use quite a bit, but you know, if you have super high-end leather, this is a really nice towel to use on the leather surfaces. And that's why it is this color, was because it was kind of made, we kind of brought this towel in for doing high-end leather cleaning and conditioning. But it does have the two sides for no particular reason, but because it's almost like the same towel as like the glass cleaning towel, but it's more woven, so it doesn't lint when you use it on leather. But super high premium like interior towel, which I do really like actually a lot. And then lastly, I'll take you guys over here. Got about 10 minutes, I would say. Got to end on the Porsche.
Chester says my biggest problem is I use way too much product.
Chester, that's a good problem to have, man. Yeah.
Chester's problem keeps us employed.
Yeah. So we've talked about these towels already, okay? But I have them over here. Borderless gray, single soft. I also have these towels I think Anton was talking about. Yep. Those are kind of like, they're kind of like an all-purpose like polishing towel. They come in like, I think it's like a 6-pack maybe. Those are like really nice fibers, but I will say like the quality of these towels versus these towels is different. Okay, they feel really nice in the very beginning, but then after you use them once, they do kind of mat up a little bit too much. So that's why they're a little bit cheaper and they come in a bigger pack. But if you're someone like Anton who's detailing $1 million cars and doing it every week and making them look perfect, that's a good towel for him because he can use them, and then once he's done using them, he can just toss them. You could probably get away with using Towel and Powder Vitalizer, the product, to clean those and it'll bring them back. But I just haven't had good luck with those for some reason. They are good towels though. Like, I'm not knocking them. Here's my problem, you guys. I am jaded. I've worked here for way too long. And so I'm old man Joe, even upstairs amongst a bunch of young guys. And I've been doing this without him for so long that like, I'm stuck in my old ways. Like the single soft towel when it comes to removing compound and polish. I love the towel so much. It works every single time. So I would say like for removing compound and polish after you're doing like machine polishing, the single soft towel I recommend. And I would recommend these as well, okay? But I do recommend the single soft towel. That's like what comes in the polishing kits, you know? And it's for a reason. Because the single soft towel and the borderless gray towel are essentially the same thing, just different color, and the borderless gray doesn't have a silk border on it. You could also use that to remove compound and polish. So like either one of these towels is amazing. Also, when it comes to removing ceramic coating or spray coating, either one of these towels is really, really good. And
like buffing off after.
Yeah, like you apply it, the rainbow happens, the rainbow goes away, and now it's time to even it out. You know, I will say, I don't have it out here, but inside of the graphene ceramic coating kits, there's a suede removal towel. I actually really like that towel. You know, you apply the coating, it rainbows, the rainbow starts to go away, and even if you let it go a little bit too far to where it's a little bit tough to remove, that suede towel, because it has those really small suede fibers, it really cuts through the dried solvent that's coming off of the car from the ceramic coating. And once you cut through it and that towel starts to feel like it's gliding, then you switch to a plush towel like this. And then when you wipe it off, it's perfect almost. I think like that combo of using the suede microfiber removal towel with a plush towel, whether it's the borderless gray or the single soft, like it really does avoid high spots better than any other process that I've done. So I do recommend that 2-towel method with those. And I would say too, like even more so, like it's gonna be hard to see, but this is called the borderless gray light towel. Can't tell because it's kind of hard to see, but maybe if I run over and grab one, you might be able to see it. But this is a really thin plush towel. It's the thinnest plush towel that we sell. And I'm gonna see if you can actually see much of a difference. The borderless gray light, it's like they took the borderless gray and then they just cut the fibers a little bit shorter. It's really hard to see, but you can feel it. Like Chris, if you feel this, you can't.
That's fine. Yeah, it's a little softer, a little thicker.
The thing about this one is like when you're, this is something Adam taught me like a long time ago. This is also why like the single soft, when you're wiping off compound and polish or ceramic coating, you want a more thin towel, because what it allows you to do is, if you see this body line crease on the hood right here of this Porsche, I can feel it with my fingers right here. Like I can feel every nook and cranny of this car with a more thin towel, right? Even single soft, even if I fold it, but more so the borderless gray light towel, like I can still feel that crease inside that car. That gives you a little bit better of an idea of what you're wiping off, right? Whereas if you use the double soft towel to remove compound and polish or ceramic coating, you might not see it where you need to push your fingers in a way that you can feel it coming off, you know? So having a more thin towel for doing these kind of jobs of removing ceramic coating or removing compound and polish, like I tend to opt to the borderless gray light towel when I do the suede microfiber, and then I use the borderless gray light. And I'll be honest with you guys, I have been pushing for 6 months because I want to change the graphene ceramic coating kit, and I have been pushing to put those borderless gray light towels inside there. I want essentially one single soft towel for the surface prep process. I want the suede microfiber to cut through the ceramic coating right when it's done curing, or right when it's done flashing off of the surface. And then I want 2 borderless gray light towels to be able to finish it perfect. I think that would just be such a better experience. And I also want to take out the boost because you don't need it right away. And I want to put in the tire and rubber cleaner so you can prep your plastic and rubber before you coat everything, you know? So I've been pushing for that for a long time, but you know, operations doesn't make it easy. So it's like, we'll get to it when we get to it, but someday I think it'd be pretty cool, you know? So there you go. I mean, it's kind of a lot of information, but I showed you a few products, a few things. I hope it was helpful. I mean, I think, oh, the one thing I do want to say at the end, probably like the 3 or 4 towels you absolutely need. Number 1, you need a high quality drying towel. Okay. I recommend the Ultra Plush drying towel. For me, it's proven to work every single time. I love that towel so much. Number 2, I would recommend having some kind of plush towel, and I would almost recommend the borderless gray towel. You know, I think it's a great all-around plush towel, okay? Because you can do so many different things with it. You can do the H2O garden gloss process, you can remove compound and polish, you can help buff away ceramic coating, you could use 2 of them to fully wipe down your car with a quick detailing process. You could even use it as a waterless washing process. It's not great, but I think it works fine, right? So just a good all-around towel. Lastly, I would say the third towel you really need would be the edgeless utility towel. Again, this towel does so many different things, from scrubbing plastic and rubber trim to remove oxidation, to cleaning a full interior, to even cleaning glass. So this is just a great, you know, I like even to use this with Total Interior Cleaner to wipe down touch screens, you know, like navigation screens. So pretty much those 3 towels I would say are kind of like the 3 you need the most. And maybe you don't need just a few of them. Maybe those are the 3 you need the most of. And then you can start implementing, like, if you want a different drying towel, or if you want some double soft towels to make your quick detailing process more easy. But like for every 5 borderless gray towels, you might need 1 double soft towel, if that makes sense, you know. And for every 2 glass towels, you know, you need 5 edgeless utility towels. So just kind of my thing. That's kind of my inventory in my house, kind of collection of towels. Is I have a ton of borderless gray and a ton of single soft. I have like 4 ultra plush drying towels, and I just have like, I couldn't even count how many edgeless utility towels I have. I use them for a lot of different things. I mean, I even use like this car, right? The exterior is perfect. It doesn't need to be washed. It doesn't need to be waterless washed. But the tires look really uneven because they're putting like crappy tire shine on those. And so what I can do with the edgeless utility towel is I can take the tire and rubber cleaner, and I can just spray this onto the towel like this. And I can take this and scrub the tires without needing to actually like clean the wheels and tires. And I can remove all the crappy tire dressing that was slapped on by a dealership or whoever, right? And then I can take all of that off. It's gonna make it nice and even, and then I can put a more high quality tire dressing on there, like graphene tire dressing. But because this towel is woven, I can scrub with this and not screw the towel up or lint everywhere, you know. So that's also why like this towel to me is very, very useful when it comes to doing so many different things. I think that's the one thing you guys will learn about me here on the live is I like products that do a lot of different things. I don't necessarily want like this huge arsenal of products at my house that I have to like go and try to find and pick. It's like detail spray I use to wipe cars down. I use it to do as a drying aid to dry the car. I use it to clay the car if I'm not doing the clay process during washing. You know, there's so many different things that detail spray is used for. Tire and rubber cleaner, same thing. You can use this for cleaning the engine. You can use it for cleaning the tires. It's just like you can use it to scrub oxidation off of rubber and plastic trim on the car. You know, so having products for me that do like multiple things is very useful. That's why like spray coating is my favorite, because I can spray coat 100% of the exterior rather than like 80% of it. You know, I can spray it into the suspension. I can spray it into the grill. I could ceramic coat a soft top, you know, convertible with spray coating. It's just like so useful to me. So, you know, having that, and especially when I'm like, you know, I'll do side projects of detailing here and there. And I never know what I'm gonna get. So having products that do multiple things, then I don't have to like feel like I need to run back to work to grab products or this and that. So, so yeah, try to keep it. For me, it's not simple because I just know how everything works. You know, for you guys watching, having something that's very purpose driven helps you guys with the direction of how you detail. So I get it. It's just I have more of the experience to be able to navigate kind of the product line and what you should do. So I hope today was helpful. You know, we had multiple suggestions on the live 2 weeks ago. This was one of them, talking about what towels go with what product. I hope today was helpful. But another one was showcasing the interior cleaning gun. And then the other one was kind of defining the graphene ceramic coating line like as a whole. So I think what I might do is, excuse me, next week I'll probably do the interior cleaning gun. I think that's a cool product to do. We'll talk about that, and then we'll just talk about a few different things that you can use that for. And then the week after we'll talk about the graphene line as a whole and like how I kind of view it. I kind of view it in different sections. And so I think that'll be kind of a cool topic, but make sure you come with some comments, some questions. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, all the stuff that all the big YouTube people say. That's what I just said. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week, and I'm looking forward to it.